Welcome to Short Scale Modelling. This is part 3 of Airfix's Hadley Page Victor KSRS2. Scale is 1 to 72. Now on this part I'm going to be dealing with the rear wing and the landing gear struts. So let's jump into this and see how well I get on. So I'm starting off with the rear wing, and I'm just taking off the excess bits of sprue that I've cut off. So as you can see, I'm just using my knife to get rid of all the little nubs, and then I'm just filing down as I go along. Here I'm using Umbro 130 white satin for the paint. Now I've decided to paint the tail fin straight away, not wait until it's built. The reason for that is two really. One, it's easier just to paint the underside now, and two, when I put the two halves together, I will reduce the masking a little bit, but that's not really the main issue. That's just a more of a convenience. But the second reason is, on the top half, I'm not sure of the colour tones that I'm going to be using. Now, I've tested them on a bit of plastic card and they look fine. But I decided I want to paint the camo on the wing, and if I don't like it, then I can easily change the small area, as in painting the canopy on the main unit itself. So it's more of a test just for my own peace of mind, but at the moment I'm just painting on the white. So now I'm going on to the top part of the wing, and again it's just the cleaning up process. And because I'm painting the half separately, I'm placing on the wings, but it's only a temporary measure because I can't really attach them at the moment, so I'm just securing them with a little bit of masking tape for the painting process. And for that, the first colour is Umbro 163 dark green that I'm using for the darker part of the camouflage. And as you can see, I'm not using any masking tape or anything. I'm just doing this by eye, looking at the pattern on the instructions and vaguely following it. Now, this is not going to be 100% accurate, but I'm going to get to a close approximation. But so far, I like how the colour is turning out. Now, how it dries will be the test, really. And then for the other colour, it's 165 medium sea grey for the lighter grey on the camouflage. Now, as I said a moment ago, I'm not using any masking tape. I'm doing this by eye. If I don't like the pattern, I can simply paint over it. Just me paint over one of the edges here. Now, this will take a couple of coats to get it done fully, but I am happy with the colour, so I'm going to stick with that. And on a side note, I'm going to be doing a video on how I paint, and it's going to encompass all of my ideas and techniques, how I paint. So using masking tape and so on, and how I blend in the paints and not get any residues and get rid of brush strokes and things like that. And that's going to be on a later video after this build, and in the middle of making it now. So a lot of it's actually going to include this build here, because a lot of the paintwork will be is perfect to utilise for that sort of video. But I'll be cut from previous videos as well, and I'll do a new voiceover and explain it. So that's something to watch out for. So I'm not going to go into major explaining what I'm doing here with the masking tape or not masking tape. I'll just explain it a little bit, then go in to more detail on the how-to video. So as you can see, I'm moving on to the wheels, and I'm using Life's Colours Black Rubber Shades of Tire Black paint, and that's just for the tires. If you don't have any of the Life Colours stuff, a flat black will be fine, but I'll put that on the alternative paint list at the end of the video. And for the hubcaps itself, it's Umbro 56 aluminium. Now the paint's dry, I'm going to be putting the wings together. So first of all, it's the flaps of the wings. So you can see the border of the flap is still grey. I didn't paint that white because I wasn't sure how much area needed to be painted, so I left that purposely. To fit these, it's quite simple. There is nice location points on this to follow. And it's just a simple question. lining them up. There was no major difficulties with this. And then the main part of the wing goes on. Now, interestingly, the instructions ask you to do this once the wing is in situ, the main middle section. Again, this is one of the reasons why I decided to build it now before placing it on the actual main build. So there it is in place. I'm okay with the colours. I think they'll work out quite well. So now it's dry, I'm just going to go over the areas with white that need to be painted. Now this will take a little couple of coats because it's on a grey-black background. But that's the nature of the base of these things. So if you do it like this, you just have to persevere and build up those colours as normal. It's now onto the landing struts, and I'm giving this all a base coat in Umbro 56 aluminium. Now it's not really necessary to paint it at this stage if you don't wish, but I just like getting the block colours down first of all. There is different colours involved in the struts, so my next colour is Umbro 40 Pale Grey. Now this is one of the colours that's discontinued in the Umbro range, so again, make sure you look at the end part of the video with all the alternative paints that I can use. And it's also over to Umbro 11 Silver for the hydraulic bars on the landing struts. My next colour on the struts is Umbro 85 Coal Black, and this is a tiny little part on the one of the supporting mechanisms for the strut. I'm not sure what it does, but it looks like it goes on and supports onto the main fuselage. And while the paint's drying, I'm going back to the wheels and I'm just going to assemble them. Now, I find it easier to assemble these on the sprue. Of course, you can take them off, put them in a cocktail stick, and then assemble them that way. I just prefer it to do it this way. That way, I've not got loads of cocktail sticks hanging around. But I will put them on a cocktail stick at the end, just to paint off the little location areas that I've taken off and sanded down. Again, you can make an argument this can be done afterwards, the whole painting process, but it's only touch-ups at this point anyway, so it takes next to no time to do. The building of the struts is quite intricate. There's one or two little parts that you have to get right. First of all, the main piston rod goes in the centre. Be careful of your cement at this point if you need these to be, you'll need these to be slightly free moving until everything is built. So dry fitting is essential to make sure you know exactly where everything goes. There's a bottom part of this that gets placed in at the end. Now they do have little location points for you to set these pieces in, but as I said, they are quite small and they will need a bit of delicate work. And once I've got all the little parts in place, I have to then marry up the two halves together. Again, this can be a little bit tricky if you haven't got the initial parts lined up, and it can throw the whole thing off. So again, make sure you dry fit before you carry on, because you will get in a hell of a mess otherwise. The next part of the strut is the main anchor point, which is going to go into the fuselage. So you want to make sure that this is really securely held. As you saw there, there's a sentinel column that gets pushed into the main strut, then there's two legs that sit on the side of it. The location points are small for the job that's going to do, because they are going to hold a lot of weight. So make sure they are completely sound fitting before you place them onto the aircraft. The last part to be fitted is two little arms that you can see me putting in there. I know it's a little bit blurry on this, but I've zoomed right in on the camera so you can see them, because they are such small parts. But each one fits on the main arm that's going to go into the fuselage. So here is it again, but just slightly zoomed out so it's more in focus. Again, the location points are there, but they are very small to see. So again, just make sure you know where they're going before you fit them. Once they're all made up and dry, then it's a simple case of placing on the wheels. And this is where I'll end part 3 as I'm putting these on. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you check out the channel for my other builds? If you subscribe to the channel, please do so. Make sure you hit the notification bell, that way you'll be kept up to date, not only for this build, but all my other builds as well, of course. Hit the like button, don't be afraid to leave a comment, and of course you can share the video. And remember, the alternative playlist will be right at the end of this. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.